After months in lockdown, restaurants are back.
But they're coming out of hibernation and into a strange new world shaped by the coronavirus pandemic.
I'm Tim Hayward. I'm a restaurateur, cook and food writer.
I'm Daniel Garrahan. I'm a journalist at the Financial Times and I love eating out. We want to see how the restaurant business is adapting as we come out of lockdown and what eating out will look like in the future.
Our first stop is Lyles, a Michelin star restaurant in London's Shoreditch. How can a fine dining restaurant like this survive?
Tim, good to see you.
And you, mate. Even at a distance.
Even at social distance. The UK is unlocking, restaurants are starting to reopen. It's an exciting time, it's a challenging time for restaurants too, isn't it?
Oh, you're not kidding. And no more so than here. It's the cutting edge of the restaurant phenomenon in the UK, what we've seen over the last couple of decades. And yet it's right here on the street that marks the edge of the city and hipster central. I'm looking over there and it's empty. There's nothing moving in the city. I don't know what's happening in hipster central because nobody's been in there in 3 months.
Huge challenges ahead for all different types of restaurant businesses, but then there's the dining experience as well. I'm desperate to get out there and eat. Haven't been out to eat in a restaurant for several months like most of the people in the country, and yet at the same time feeling a bit cautious. What is this new experience going to look like? Are we going to be safe? Is it going to be an enjoyable experience?
Well, I'm going to be really interested to see what you think as a punter, because the way they make those guidelines sit, it's going to be the difference between whether you're desperate to go or you're going to go once and you're going to go, sod it, I don't even like eating out anymore.
Yeah, a romantic candlelit dinner for two, served by a waiter or waitress wearing protective clothing and a visor. Is that going to be an enjoyable or romantic experience? Who knows?
And here's your wine. And can I give you a bed bath? It's got that sort of, I don't know, it's got a hospital vibe to it. Yes. How are we going to deal with that
sterile dining experience.
If these guys can't crack it, nobody can.
Should we go in there and see what they're up to?
Lyles was co-founded by General Manager John and Head Chef James.
Yeah, in a state of flux, this is Lyles.
They also run Floor, a bakery and coffee shop across the city in Borough Market.
First couple of weeks was pretty brutal, and at that point not having any sort of support in place and just not really knowing anything.
You're the first Michelin guys I've had the opportunity to ask. What do you think is going to happen to Michelin after this? Are they going to go around and reassess everybody as we come out of
I
it?
guess they're kind of panicking that they won't be able to sell their next guide because it's essentially the same as one from the previous year.
Because nobody will want to say anything negative about a
Well,
restaurant
I think that's a huge thing.
forever.
And
Come review us then. What a great time to
we'll invite them all back.
With its Michelin star and a place in the annual World's 50 Best Restaurants rankings, Lyles attracts international food tourists in normal times. But for now, it remains closed.
You haven't reopened for the big reopening weekends, but
Yeah.
I mean, is that a decision you're going to take anytime soon, do you think?
There is a little bit of, well, let's see what happens, because I certainly think that people will give an outdoor seating more of a shot than they will do being inside a restaurant. I remember when we opened and every single person in the restaurant industry came in and just said, oh, you can get way more seats in here. We put our cap on how many people we thought we could do reasonably.
How many was that?
That was 48, so it used to be 48 seats.
So how many covers would you have?
I think we about 32.
So it's a reduction, but it's not too drastic.
You know, you don't want to make that sound too positive, because 10-15% less turnover, 10-15% less covers is an enormous difference. That could be the difference between where they were just breaking even for a long time and actually generating a profit.
Is it going to be worth reopening for you, do you think?
I'm not entirely convinced, or I just don't know yet how I feel about people are going to react to going out to a restaurant.
There's still a concern about eating in or eating out, and I think it's hugely divisive at the moment. You get half the people going, I can't believe you're open. That is inhumane. What are you doing? You're killing everyone. To the other half going, you've got to get out there and support these people.
I'm hearing a lot from operators, finance people largely, who are running restaurant groups and chains and pubs and vertical drinking places. They want people to go back. And I'm hearing a lot from chefs who are all about their creative expression and their brand and how that fits. I'm hearing a deadly silence from waiters, waitresses, sommeliers. And how are they feeling right now? This must be really scary for them.
They're petrified. The pressure and responsibility I felt most is people looking at me and James for answers, and me and James going, I don't know.
Kitchen's looking a little bit different at the moment. We flipped all of our production from restaurant food to our pastries, viennoiserie, which is what we do at our other restaurant floor down in Borough Market. It's a useful time to give people a bit of training in something different, to justify paying, to get them some money.
And you weren't ever tempted to keep the kitchen open to do delivery or DIY kits in the way that some other restaurants are?
One of the things that really makes the food here stand out is balance and timing. Things are taken from raw product and served in a very short space of time, and that does not work.
What do you think it's going to look like in this restaurant when you are serving again indoors?
A bit odd that tables are further apart.
It's going to feel a little sterile.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, but people, do you know what, we've been criticised for that for a long time anyway, so I don't really...
Work in your favour.
Yeah, I don't really mind. Yeah, exactly. It's like, here we are, it's as it always was.
100% support anyone that's opened. To not open when you've been told you can open with the current financial situation is a hard decision to make. To plan long term at the moment is a pointless exercise. You'll just have to react to what is happening to try and keep things going.
I was going to ask for a nice clean prediction, and it actually is kind of heartening that there isn't one for this place. It's going to be good, you're going to do the right thing, but you're not going to be rushed into committing to something very specific.
The only thing I will sit here and say about anything that James and I will do is it will be good. What any of those things are?
No idea.
Let's wait and see.
It turns out that Shoreditch has been a ghost town ever since the UK went into lockdown. So John and James pivoted to pizza, converting floor into an open hatch delivery and takeaway. It's kept them afloat, and it means they don't have to rush to reopen Lyles.
It seems a logical extension of brand. Now, I really want to know what these guys will do with the pizza.
We're using the same suppliers, the same grain, the same mills. Our pizza doughs are 36-hour sourdough fermented pizza dough, so on a Sunday in our first week when we didn't really know what we're doing, by 7 o'clock we had sold out.
So this is floor, and it doesn't look like it's opening up again as a restaurant space anytime soon.
No, I think with the restrictions at the moment, there's not really the opportunity here. It's not really viable. I think downstairs in our bar, you can't have anyone, and even at a meter, you have 12 people.
With floor closed for indoor dining, Floor's landlord, Borough Market, agreed to provide some outside dining space for the new pizza operation.
A tenant or a landlord can bury their head at the moment, or you can have a discussion about how you can make things work. Businesses going under is not going to pay the rent in 3 months or 6 months' time. The people who aren't prepared to explore and look at other avenues of revenue and layering a business are the businesses that potentially are going to struggle.
There's always been that question, like you get as a chef, like, oh, what's your guilty pleasure of what you're eating? And I've always said, I don't really know, don't think I have one. And then when they find out I love pizza, it's like, that's your guilty pleasure. It's like, no, but pizza's awesome. There's nothing bad about loving pizza. Pizza's amazing.
Yeah, chaps. Thanks very much. Thank you. Let's do it.
Oh, yes.
Well, that does look superb, doesn't it? Look at that.
What's that? It's a cheese and nduja, isn't it? That's a cured pork and chili product.
It's not vegetarian, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Oh, mate. Sorry about that. So what did you think? The whole setup?
As a diner, I would come here and eat like this happily. This is what I've been yearning to do. This doesn't frighten me, and it feels quite safe. And I think what they've done is quite clever, because they've used the resources they have.
But you also seen what it's like on the other side, how they're having a shift to keep their brand protected, their people protected, their suppliers paid, their bills paid, there's landlords involved in the process. God knows what it must be like for a small operator. Yeah. So I'm really glad we got to see how tough, even for the big boys, the proper name places, it is hard as hell.
It's right to the ego as well, don't you think? So you're talking about a Michelin star chef who's used to cooking the most refined food, being forced by COVID-19 to having to make a pizza.
I think what I'm seeing is they really rather enjoy it. They probably don't admit it, but I think they love slinging out pizza.
Back to basics.
Well, it certainly shows, doesn't it? Oh, well, sorry, you wouldn't know, would you?
Is that as good as it looks? It smells.
No, it's much better than that.
Oh, wow.